Hey My Elves, Camping Story 2 by Madamia033. First off, I love to camp. Been doing it my whole life. Never had a scary experience until this past summer. My boyfriend and I decided to go out to the gorge for some quality time camping. We had also we had always gone with several other people, but this was the first time it was just us two. When we got out of the car to prep our gear for the mile hike back to the camping spot, two sketchy looking dudes came out of the trailhead, eyed us, and went on to their old school VW camper van. I had a weird feeling but shrugged it off and proceeded back to our camp spot. I had previously camped in the same area a handful of times and knew it pretty well. Once we got back there, I knew a handful of different camping spots and proceeded to check them all out for the one that would be ideal for us. I noticed what looked like someone camping further up the hill, so I picked a spot a little further down where we'd be most likely out of sight. Not out of earshot though, as I heard him yelling with someone else back over the trail. It was starting to get dark by the time we got everything set up, so I figured I'd start looking for firewood. Suddenly, this guy appears out of nowhere and asks us if we'd like any help and offered to sell us a bundle of firewood for $10. I laughed because we were in the woods, thus surrounded by wood which I could pick up off the ground for free. He then said I wouldn't find much wood because they'd already cleared it out over the past few weeks. I asked him how long he'd been camping up there, and he said almost a month. The longest anyone can camp in this area, a national forest, is 2 weeks. I already had the creeps about him, and he claimed he was up there by himself. I asked him why I heard him yelling with someone then, and that he had referred me to more people than when talking about the wood. He stammered and was like, yeah, there's some dudes I know camping over there up on the other side of the river. Then he proceeds to tell us that he's been lonely since he arrived. He was from Pennsylvania, took a bus to Lexington, KY, and had been living in the woods back behind where I currently work. Coincidental? I knew exactly where he was talking about because I see homeless people, immigrants, and drug addicts coming in and out of those woods every day. So basically, he was a homeless man who somehow got a ride out to the gorge and decided he would just live there instead. He had been living on snakes, bugs, and selling firewood for food, beer, but he said we were the first people he'd seen in a few weeks. His stories were all over the place, and I knew he was lying about a lot of what he had told us. He wasn't alone, even though he claimed to be. He even took us to his camp where there were tons of stuff for several guys, not just one. He said he liked camping up top where he could see everything and everyone. Then showed up our campsite. He had straight shot view. By now it was dark and he helped us get a fire going. I was trying to politely get him on his way back up the hill so I could have a minute to process all of this. When he left, I started whispering to my boyfriend that there was no way in hell I could sleep with that lying, sketchy homeless creep right up the hill. We didn't have a gun, knife, or even dog. to protect ourselves if we needed to. I said let's quietly get our shit together and get the hell out of here. Which we did, only we left our new traps set up because they would make too much noise and he'd know we were leaving. As long as I stood up with my pack, as soon as I stood up with my pack, ready to get the hell out of Dodge, he yells, "How's it going down there?" And we proceeded to GTFO as quickly and quietly as possible. In my mind, we were either getting robbed, raped, killed, or something because he was not alone. His stories didn't add up, and his background of where he came from made me believe he was running from something and was trying to hide by living off the grid. I called the rangers the next morning and told them about him. Luckily, all he got from us was a set of new traps. Alright, that is it, my elves, for this story. It was quite a long story. You notice I kept messing up my words a little bit. I'm sorry about that. I'm having struggles with it. That was actually the best recording I've done. And I really have to get something done, so I'm just gonna have to have it messed up a little bit. But I haven't got my glasses on because I've recently broken my glasses in a tickle fight, believe it or not. So I haven't got my glasses on, and I'm dyslexic, so it can make it hard to read sometimes. However, I do love doing these stories and reading them to you guys, so worth it. So I have plans for future uploads in what I'm going to be doing. They will mainly be affecting the Tuesday and possibly the Friday, depending what I'm doing on the Friday. Mainly the Tuesday because it's gaming day, and what I want to do will affect my gaming. Doesn't mean the gaming videos are going to stop. I do love my gaming videos. They are like one of my favorites. But I have the intention to be doing more stuff. The content, for the moment might be hard for me to upload, considering for the next 2 weeks I'm not going to be home on the weekend, so I am going to have to be recording them as the week goes on, instead of rather getting them all smashed out on the weekend. So, I'm sorry if the recordings seem a little bit rushed. I'm going to be trying to, working as hard as I can on them, because I'd really rather not fail, I guess. I'd rather you guys get good content. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm getting some things done. I'm working on more games for me to play. For instance, on Gaming Tuesday, I want to do The Walking Dead. However, I've got to wait for these other plans to kick in before I can start that, because I decided there's a certain way I want to play it, and my other plans have to kick in so I can play it. So, plans. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you guys are enjoying your lives. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I will see you in the next video.